Welcome back to BBN. I'm Thaddeus Butler.
And I'm Adrian Elder. And this is the BBN Weekly Newscast. It's been a busy week for one group in particular. Here's Brenna Burnett with the story.
I knew that there was something like not really normal about me, you know? And I didn't really understand what it was, but even really early on in school, and like there's the obvious bit, like I'm Mexican, I'm not like, I'm not white, you know? And so that was always a little battle that I had to fight with my classmates, because they would say certain comments like, hey, you can't play with us, you're Mexican, or like, make sure you're not like saying things that were in Spanish because people would give you dirty looks, you know? And that was always a big struggle. Like even in school, like they had certain students be pulled out of class to like talk on their, or like work on their accent, because I had a really heavy accent as a kid, and they would just like, they told me it was like it was improper to speak like that, but that's just how I spoke. And so like, even now, like I speak Spanish, but it sounds incorrect, you know? It flipped it, and it makes me upset just thinking about it, because I had no say in it. I was a child, and I thought it was like, okay. And then like later on, I started coming to terms with my sexuality and how that might affect my life, and how other people would react to it, because as many people know, I'm pretty receptive to people's opinions, and I like to know that I am well liked among my peers. And so I was afraid that my social standing and the friends that I had built up over the years, that was gonna be for nothing if it came out. And for a good while, after a certain event in which someone revealed to the entire school that I was gay, it was kind of messy, but in the end, I was actually sort of kind of thankful, because they did all the dirty work for me, you know? And it's really bad to say about that. If you know who you are, you know who you are, you know? But it made it, I proved to myself that it wasn't as important, or that it wasn't that big of a deal, because my character and my myself, I was what was important, you know, not the labels that I was in. And I want to show to other people that those labels don't have to define you, that it's not the end of the world for being different. And I want to show people that they'll get through it, and just the same way that I did.
Kindness Project is an organization within the Scott City School District dedicated to spreading tolerance, kindness, and education throughout our
main issues would probably be the bullying going on in school, the racism, and people just being rude in general. You see it every day in school, passing the hallways, people saying words that shouldn't be said at all. And like me, my grandma's, they're lesbian, but people don't need to be saying stupid crap. My bad. People don't need to be saying words that should not be said about them, or that type of sexuality.
Know your classmates, the PowerPoint getting ready for the middle school. PowerPoint to give to the middle school and get to know your classmates.
We're gonna take it to the middle school first, because to start out kind, you gotta start out with the younger generation, because they're gonna get to understand this stuff more and learn more about it. So we're going to take it to the middle school first, and then we'll just work our way up to high school.
And the Kindness Project are the people who did the Get to Know Your Classmates, the day where you had to tell 5 things about 5 different, your favorite color, or do you like pancake or waffles more? Just to get to know your classmates better. The kindness project, what it means to me is to just get people out of their social isolation, include everybody in everything. I don't like it when one person feels like they're not getting the same treatment as another person, or they feel like they're left out of something just because they're different than one another. I like to include everybody in anything you're doing.
But the Kindness Project to me is definitely a place where kids who feel like they aren't socially accepted can come and be with a group of people who are willing to accept them no matter who they are and what they believe in. So it's kind of like a safe haven for us.
The Kindness Project is a place for, I don't know, like people that feel like lonely or they're just struggling with finding their group of people, or even just like with bullying too, because bullying has become the norm in our society, especially over social media. Like it's really bad, and like it's become a norm in our schools, and it's not okay. And I think the Kindness Project gives people a place to go when they have no one else.
Thanks, Brenna. The Kindness Project is working hard on making SCHS a safe place for all.
Now it's time to talk to Nathan Roses about the upcoming flu season.
Flu season is a common phenomenon that happens every year in the U.S. In Scott City, Kansas, the flu season lasts from December to March. I was able to speak to Elizabeth C., the infection control manager, about how the flu affects Scott City and what precautions to take to prevent infection. She recommended that we wash our hands, wear masks, keep your distance, and most importantly, to get the flu vaccination. From December 5th to 11th, 2021 is National Influenza Vaccination Week, reminding everyone 6 months and older that there is still time to get a flu vaccine. Vaccination is particularly important for people who are at higher risk of developing serious flu complications, including people with certain chronic conditions such as asthma, diabetes, and heart disease. In fact, in the past flu seasons, 9 out of 10 adults are hospitalized for the flu had one underlying medical condition. According to the Center for Disease Control, to reduce the spread of the flu, you can take everyday preventive actions. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. If you are sick, limit contact with others as much as possible to keep from infecting them. Cover your coughs and sneezes. Cover your nose, mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze, or throw the tissue in the trash after you use it. Wash your hands often with soap and water. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand rub. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. You can take everyday preventive actions. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. If you're sick, limit contact with others as much as possible to keep from infecting them. Cover coughs and sneezes. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you need to cough or sneeze. Throw the tissue in the trash after you use it. Wash your hands often with soap and water, and if soap and water are not available, use any alcohol-based rub. Germs can spread in many ways, so make sure you clean and disinfect all the surfaces that may be contaminated with viruses that can cause the flu. The CDC recommends that people will stay home for at least 24 hours after their fever is gone, except to get medical care for other necessities. Fever should be gone without the need to use fever-reducing medications.
Thanks, Nathan. We'll now take a short break, but we'll be right back with more on BBN TV.
Why teens need more sleep. Most teenagers do not get enough sleep and end up struggling at school. They need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep every day. Without a set amount of sleep, students have trouble with their memory, motivation, and concentration throughout the day. Teens need more sleep to grow and be healthy. Teachers, if you want your students to be ready and energized for activities, I think we should start school later.
Each year, every Kansan produces enough trash to outweigh a cow. This much waste is destroying our environment. But what can we do about it? Recycling is a process that allows us to reuse products more than once. By getting even one more use out of a piece of trash, we can improve our waste emissions. But where to start? You can start by locating your nearest recycling center and try giving them a call. Or you can try reusing things around the house you would have otherwise thrown away. No matter how you start recycling, the important thing is that you do. And remember, reduce, reuse, recycle.
And now over to Randy for the weather.
Thanks, I'm your weatherman Randy, and now it's time for our weekly weather forecast. Today will be a bit cloudy and we're looking at a high near 44 and a low around 18. For Saturday, it'll be sunny with a high near 49 and clear with a low around 21. For Sunday, it'll be sunny with a high near 59 and clear with a low around 23. Have a great weekend, and back to you, Thaddeus and Adrian.
Thanks, Randy. Wow, it's definitely going to be a cold weekend. As well as a busy weekend for Beaver Athletics, here's Jensen with the Sports Report.
We interviewed 3 coaches of the SCHS basketball team to get their thoughts on the season ahead of them, and more. Head coach Brian Gentry said he's looking forward to this season.
It's really trying to take kids from freshman all the way to senior and trying to blend them, to create one team and a culture that we can be proud of. That's kind of where it starts and stops for me is building our culture this year, getting back to the basics, but getting back to being there for one another. Making sure everybody's on the same page and on the same side, and so building our culture is going to be the big thing this year.
Assistant coaches Drew Kite and Joey Meyer said even though they're expecting some obstacles, they're looking forward to success.
Like I said, this is a pretty successful group. They're going to be split up a little different this year, with some of them playing JV more minutes and some more on the freshman team. So they're going to have to step up. I think a lot of those kids last year on the freshman team got a lot better because they stepped into roles that they didn't really, play before, because they've always had Gus, to be their guy. And so I think that really helped some of them, step up. So hopefully we can have a successful year.
I think we really have a good chance this year. Just having our first 2 practices, there's a lot of energy in our gym, a lot of encouragement, not that much negativity. Last year we had a lot of negativity with players, coaches, just all mixed of it because we weren't clicking. And this year it feels like we're clicking from the beginning. So I'm hoping for a really good run at our sub-state and hopefully make it to state.
Good luck to both boys and girls basketball teams this season. That's it for the sports, and I'm Jensen Smith with BBN News. Thanks, Jensen. Have you seen your Spotify Wrapped this year? Eric Chaplin has. Here he is with the story.
For many Spotify users, the end of the year makes for an exciting time to check out their Spotify Wrapped. Originally called Year in Music, the widespread social media trend started in 2015, but didn't become popular until the release of its new upgrade in 2017. So what is Spotify Wrapped? Spotify Wrapped allows users to see their top artists and songs that they listened to that year. Not only can users see their own Spotify Wrapped, but they can share it with others as well. Let's take a closer look at what the SCHS students and teachers' Spotify Wraps are looking like this year.
My top Spotify users are Eminem, Juice WRLD, and Lil Wayne.
My top artist of the year was Tyler, the Creator, and Harry Styles, and Childish Gambino, One Direction, and Taylor Swift.
My top Spotify artists, I like country music, so Thomas Rhett, Chris Tomlin, Lauren Elena, Taylor Swift, and Morgan Wallen.
My top artists were Co Wetzel, Tyler Childers, Red Southern Band, Zach Bryan, and Parker McCollum. And I had 87,000 minutes listened.
My Spotify Wrapped includes Lorde, Tyler the Creator, Kali Uchis, Harry, kind of tired, Harry Styles, and Frank Ocean.
My top Spotify artists are Neil Sedaka, Hall & Oates, Ronnie Millsap, Keith Urban, Thomas Rhett, Lady A, Jane Child, Little Big Town, Captain and Tennille, Crystal. It's all over the place.
My top artist on Spotify was Morgan Wallen.
My top artists are George Strait, Queen, Flatline Cavalry, Tim McGraw, and Randy Travis.
So my top artists are Luke Combs, Travis Tritt, Chris Ledoux, and Riley Green.
My top artists are Lil Baby, Del Baby, and Polo G.
Okay, Speed Gang, Jason Aldean, Cody Johnson, Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs.
My Spotify Wrap for this year has a lot of Broadway musicals like Mean Girls the Musical and Beetlejuice and Hamilton. And then I also have a lot of Lil Nas, a lot of Dolly Parton, and a little bit of Cody Johnson.
My top artists were Knight Lavelle, Joji, Drake, Co Wetzel, and Travis Scott.
Some of my top songs are More Than a Woman by the Bee Gees, All Yourn by Tyler Childers, and Horses Are Faster by Ian Munsick, and one other. Oh, Three Little Birds by Bob Marley.
My top artists were Casey Musgraves, Olivia Rodrigo, Tyler Childers, Taylor Swift, and George Strait.
My top 5 artists were SZA, Lana Del Rey, Doja Cat, Eazy-E, and Tupac.
My Spotify rap top artists: Maroon 5, Imagine Dragons, Jason Mraz, Train, One Republic, Gwen Stefani, Pink, Bruno Mars, Kobe Calais, Avril Lavigne. I think that's it.
My top artists were Kali Uchis, Brockhampton, Tyler the Creator, Doja Cat, and Tame Impala this year.
My top 5 artists were Lil Baby, Drake, Lil Uzi Vert, Polo G, and Pop Smoke, and I listened to 52,761 minutes.
Mine is Linkin Park, Rise Against, System of a Down, and 30 Seconds to Mars.
My top artists were Morgan Wallen, Zach Bryan, Flatland Cavalry, Luke Combs, and Olivia Rodrigo.
As the year comes to a close, as will the hype over Spotify Wrapped. But that doesn't mean it won't gain its annual popularity again next year. Reporting from BBN News, I'm Eric Shapland.
Thank you for joining us this week on BBN.
Good luck to both wrestling and basketball this Saturday.
See you next week, and
Go Beavers.